What an embarrassing loss it is again today. 12-1 to the Pittsburgh Pirates as Frankie Montas is a complete zero, which we knew he was going to be. Let's be honest, people. You don't go from having a 8+ ERA in AAA to being Cy Young or even good the way that he looked during his last start. The Mets lineup can't come through. Runners in scoring position, absolutely zero. Not getting hits to the end of the game. Another series where we simply can't score. I'm going to keep this short today. As you see, I'm sweating. I've been working outside all day long listening to the game, but an utter embarrassment. We'll go through the line really quickly because that's what we do here. Frankie Montas gives up the 5 runs right out the bat. You knew the game was over. You knew the game was over. Doesn't matter who Pittsburgh's throwing. We could be throwing the Steven Matz of old that would give up 1,000,000 runs. It wouldn't matter at the end of the day. 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, absolutely awful. 7 hits. Then you have Lovelady come in, 2 runs, 2 earned runs over 2. Daniel Nunez gets lit up for 2 runs over an inning. And then obviously you got Travis Jankowski, a position player, closing out the game for the Mets. It's just an utter embarrassment at this point. You get swept by Pittsburgh Pirates, arguably a bottom 2 team in all of Major League Baseball. And one thing continues to be. We had the argument over on X after our post game last night, and so many Met fans are saying, well, you got to understand, right? Runners in kind of a luck and no luck thing. I call complete BS in regard to all of that. It is not about luck. It's a mentality, and I'm not one to call for someone's job, but the New York Mets need to light a fire somewhere. You're not going to fire Jeremy Hefner, especially with all the injuries in regarding to the pitching staff. But I posed the question. I posed the question to you people on YouTube. Let me know how you feel. Who is at fault for this? Is it Mendoza? Is it David Stearns? Is it the pitching? Is it the hitting? Is it just the players? Is it the front office staff? Because let's not forget, David Stearns jumped out early in free agency and shocked MLB by giving Frankie Montas $17.5 million. And not only did he give him $17.5 million, he gives him the player option for next year, which we all know Montas is going to opt in. You thought Marte was an albatross of a contract between Starling Marte and Frankie Montas. You're talking almost $40 million. You have a guy on the bench who's not hitting, and you have a pitcher who can't pitch. Think about how ridiculous that is. Damn. But if a lot of you guys feel the way I do, I know it's going to be a light post game. Make sure you leave a like on the show. Consider subscribing and becoming a member. Buzz, what's going on? One of our members over on YouTube. Appreciate your membership, Buzz. This is extremely alarming. I don't even think that does it well, bro. It doesn't. This team can't win. Soto can hit home runs all he wants. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look at Lindor again today. Lindor again today, 0 for 4. When does the pass stop? When is something going to change? I want to look at Lindor's game log really quick. Coming into today, Lindor's hitting 261 on the year. The month of June, prior to his 0 for 4 today, he is hitting 212 over 99 at-bats. So that means his average is about 205 this month. A well sub 650 OPS. He needs to be taken out of the leadoff spot. I'm done with the preferential treatment. Look at the top of this lineup. Soto, 1 for 3. He's the only one that does anything. Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso. They combined today, 1 for 12. Mark Vientos, hello? Who was saying he's not a good player? Yours truly, 0 for 4 again today. Comes up, runners in scoring position, potential to do damage. He has a long at-bat, but you knew, I knew, they knew, the Pirates knew, hell, the Phillies knew. He was going to swing out a slider out of the zone. Brett Beatty, can't get on him, been hitting the month of June. Good to see Terrence go 2 for 3. Mauricio was 0 for 2 today with a walk. I mean, think about it. Think about the players the Mets have. They had one walk the entire game today. Tell me you're not pressing without telling me you're not pressing. Because what happens when you start pressing in the box? You start swinging at pitches you shouldn't swing at. You swing early, you swing often. And Ronnie Mauricio, think about it. Lindor 0 for 4, Nimmo 1 for 4, Soto 1 for 3, Tyron Taylor 1 for 1 that came late, Alonso 0 for 4, McNeil had 2 hits, Vientos 0 for 4, Beatty 0 for 4. Ronnie Mauricio is the only player to get a walk? We're not facing Paul Skeens. We avoided Paul Skeens of all players this whole series. Buzz, you nailed it. To me, it is crazy alarming what we're seeing right now. Omar, what's going on, my guy? What the F? It's absurd watching this team right now, like banging my head against a rock wall. I'm going to concentrate on the holiday. I agree. I'm outside. I'm putting rocks down. I have family coming this week. It's going to be very difficult to be doing any post games at all. So excuse me if we take a little bit of time off. Dan might be doing some stuff by himself, but if people aren't here, I'll be sure to do it. But you see me, I'm sweating, trying to get ready for the holiday, doing stuff outdoors at 100 degrees, and I'm sitting there fuming as I'm melting outside because this team is becoming unwatchable. Unwatchable. And Steve Cohen knows what's going to happen. Continue down this path, Citi Field will be empty by the end of July. Mark my words. You're lucky Philly's not playing great. You're lucky you built the cushion you built early. And I'm done with the positivity of Mets fans. It's impossible to be positive right now. They have played over the last, it's not a 1 week, it's not 2 weeks, it's not 3 weeks. It's going on a full month. The Mets are sub 500 over their last 55 games. That's not a blip on the screen. I believe they're 27 and 28. It's a joke. Something needs to change. I don't know what it is, but David Stearns is the highest paid executive in baseball. Do something. Enough of the internal garbage. Spark this team. Make a big change. Stearns, we know you're running the lineup here. Make a lineup change. Lindor, you're no longer the leadoff hitter. You're going to 5 or 6 until you get it together. Jeff McNeil, you're red hot. We're moving you to leadoff. I'm talking drastic like that. Shock the hell out of this team. It needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. The Brewers are one of the hottest teams in baseball coming into town. Absurd. Andre, I agree. Not a watchable product. Complete BS. Absolute BS. Yep, Mark, I was just about to bring that up. 30-4 in a 3-game series against the Pirates. Think about what's happening right now. In the beginning of the year, the bats weren't hitting and the pitching withstood that. You knew the pitching could not hold up the way it was holding up the entire year. It was not happening. Simply not happening. The laws of averages, players play to the back of their card. Canning was not that good last year. I understand he tore his ACL, but he was not good last year. He was offered on waivers and cleared waivers. Nobody wanted him. Frankie Montas injured his entire career. He stunk before going to Milwaukee last year. Even in Milwaukee, he wasn't that good. How did he look in the playoffs? But David Stearns opens up free agency, giving him $17.5 million. Sean Manaea hasn't pitched yet this year. I mean, something's got to give. David Peterson's coming back to earth. You can't tell me think about it. The entire team as a whole is awful right now. Give me the Nolan McLean for crying out loud. Bring up the Jet Williams and DFA somebody who would shock the hell out of this team. Enough is enough. I am just so furious. And a lot of people will say, Ray, you're overreacting. Bull crap. We lost the division by 1 game a couple years ago. We are losing to the bottom of the basement teams, and you're looking at Milwaukee coming in here, and you think they're not going to whop up on our ass? Give me a break. Kai, I hope we can show up against the Brewers at home. Starting pitching is killing us. Please, Stearns, we need help. I agree, and I will be there. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Damn, man. It's very aggravating. A lot of my buddies, my friends, shout out to Andy the Angry Albanian, driving all the way to Pittsburgh, that long drive to see this garbage. At least act like you have a pulse. Score 4 runs. 3 runs against the Pirates? Gotta be kidding me. That's right, Buzz. Clue, what's going on, my friend? Stearns chose pitchers to hire, and he chose the hitters to employ, minus Soto and Alonso. That's all I'll say. I got to give him those 2 guys. I don't pick and choose where to give credit. You get credit with the good, credit with the bad. And right now, outside of the top 4, and you got to take Lindor out of that. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you think I'm nuts. Should the Mets take Lindor out of the leadoff spot? It's no longer a small sample. It's over 100 at-bats. He's hitting around 200. Maybe the broken foot is actually an issue. Appreciate LFGM, as always, my guy. Brewers are going to tee off against these bums. Wouldn't be surprised. Scott, Chavez, Barnes have to go. Their method and approach hitting are a huge problem. They completely wrecked Alvarez's swing since going to AAA and getting away from them back to his old self. I wouldn't say that. I think he went 1 for 4 yesterday with the home run. Still striking out. But I look at it like this. Something's got to give. And even if Barnes and Chavez don't deserve it, because I don't think they do, and hear me out before you go nuts on me, Soto, Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo, what do they all have in common? They're all making over $20 million. 3 out of the 4 are making over $30 million. I don't want to hear it. You're a professional hitter. You don't blame the hitting coach. Next, take some responsibility. The team meeting worked well too, right? Brennan, everything is on Stearns. He really effed up this offseason, and he will continue to hesitate to bring up solid pitchers from our farm. Hopefully not. I doubt it, because I wonder if Cohen's going to get impatient. I know he's not really typically that guy, but we'll see. Brad, embarrassing. A position player pitched. What's happening? The New York Mets are turning into the damn St. Louis Cardinals and Colorado Rockies before our eyes. Here's the thing. This is what I know. And I don't think they'd fire Mendoza. I don't. But this team is way too talented to be playing like this. You want to argue the pitching? I give Hefner a break because everybody and their mother's hurt. Think about our starting staff supposedly coming into the year. Minaya, hurt. Montas, hurt. Senga, hurt. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. And I'm missing somebody else too. I know I am. I was surprised. Let a 5-hole series. I agree, bro. Buzz, I've been binge watching The Walking Dead. More exciting than watching these clowns. Yeah, man. Brutal. I'll get to a couple more before I end this today, guys. I was doing a quick post game. Got to air it out with my guys here and gals. I know there's plenty of women in the space. If you want to be guaranteed to get your messages read live on air and talking with our guests, consider becoming a member of the channel over on YouTube or subscribing on Facebook, which will also get your guaranteed to get your messages read. X Buzz, X Joey, X those guys who are constantly in on the post games. Goomba, nothing 800 million today. Pitt over every day. This weekend, easy money. Acceptance time, fellas. Got to do something to feel better. I don't know. And I saw Dan's tweet out there. Well, Byron Buxton makes him an automatic World Series favorite. I'm not so sold so far. And this is one thing that I've said. Just because we have the pitching Frankie Montas didn't get to use it. He didn't get to use it. Danny says, Soto needs to wake up and more aggressive. I don't want to hear about Soto. Danny, all due respect, I don't want to hear about Soto. The guy just finished the month with the second greatest OPS in this franchise's history. Don't come at me with Soto, bro. I respect your opinion, but I get on everybody but him. The guy had a tremendous month of June. Tremendous. The month of June coming into today, 322, 12, 14 OPS, which went up because of his at-bat today. 12, 14. You're talking Ruth territory. Mantle, Judge, Ohtani, Barry Bonds. That's the company we're talking about. We'll get to one or two more. Ray, I'm owed an apology by so many people. I think a lot of people are. Everyone tells me, Ray, you got to be more positive. I am typically a positive person. But this is just utter nonsense. I never liked Lindor as the leadoff spot because he is a pop-up machine and doesn't walk. It should be Nimmo and then Lindor hitting too. We've advocated for that for 2 weeks. If you want, make it McNeil because McNeil's hitting. Hell, tinker with Soto as a leadoff spot, like Evan said. I don't know, but something drastic needs to change. But that's all I got for you guys. Leave a like. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Appreciate you all checking in. Hopefully we got better news during the Brewers series. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Let's go, Mets.